Welcome back to the Forensic Detailing channel, guys. Do not forget to hit the subscribe button if you're into detailing content and you want to see the latest products and all that sort of stuff. So today we're going to be attempting to review, I'm just doing my flyby product shot, Rupes Reveal Lite Residue Remover. Now, if you're new to detailing, this product falls into the panel wipe category, which is typically used to degrease, do wipe downs on panels after you've polished them to remove all the polishing oil, so you can then put down your bonding sealant or ceramic coating and get a better bond to that bare prep. They can also be used to degrease and clean the panel prior to polishing to remove the remnants of old waxes and sealants and just degrease and clean the panel. They might also break down thin layers of contamination that's on there, adhesives and tar and things like that. So they're part of, that can be part of prep and can be part of post polishing, okay? So panel wipes, we all know what they are. Now let's just talk about the Rupes one. They have this Rupes Reveal Lite, which is the yellow one. They also have a Rupes Reveal, I don't know if it's called heavy, but it's blue, and it's a stronger one for, you know, adhesives and very stubborn kind of residues, where this is more for lighter polishing and perhaps inspection wipe downs and all that sort of stuff, at least in my head. Where am I going? Why am I pausing with this? They also have, they color code their polishes. You know, the mid-range polish is yellow and the finishing polish is in these white kind of color coded things. And the heavy polish is like in the blue. So also you might use the heavy one on the coarser compound, which is a bit harder to remove. Although I'm not sure if they say that. So I'm not sure if these are actually color coded up to match their abrasives. Probably not. Probably just a question of, you should probably default to the light and use the other one if you need it. Sorry about the flickering, I'm just getting a bit of light flicker. Now let's move on to some basics. How much does this product cost? Well, it cost me £17.50 for 750 mil, and I bought this from Into Detailing. It's available in the link in the description. You might be able to get some discount with the code Forensic. If it doesn't work, it's not discountable. That price translates to £23 per litre, and that's for the yellow product, this one here. I don't know what the blue one costs. I just want to give you some direct comparisons on price so you know where you are in the market. We always do that. Whenever we do, some people, for some bizarre reason, unknowns to me, get very upset, but we always do it. Geon Prep, a litre of that stuff is around £20. So it's a little bit more expensive pound for pound than Geon Prep, £3 a litre more expensive. CarPro Eraser, £17 per litre. So it's a bit more expensive than CarPro Eraser per litre. Built Amber Cleanser Fluid is £15 for 500 ml, which is about £30 per litre when you're comparing these sort of retail size offerings. So it's kind of cheaper than that, okay? So it's somewhere in the middle. It's a bit more expensive than Geon and CarPro though, so you couldn't say that this product was cheap by any means, could you? So I'm just giving you some ideas here. Now I'm going to give you ideas to bottom of market, because if you buy 5 litres of IPA from Bonnyman's, you can get that for 30 quid. But you could take that neat IPA, which is 99% proof, and you could put about 250 ml of that with 750 ml of water and have a litre of panel wipe that's reasonably effective. I have it mixed up here, but my panel wipe, at around about 50-50, which is very strong. Some of you, when I say that, will go from panic mode into blind panic mode. John, you're destroying the swell, your clear coat. Okay, whatever. Anyway, I'm just talking, we're giving you some ideas here. So if you take a litre of IPA, divide that down into 1 litre. 1 litre would cost you 6 quid to get a litre of neat IPA, but that 1 litre would make you about 5 litres of panel wipe. So, God blimey, your price per litre if you did it yourself with IPA is very cheap, about, you know, what, £1.25? You tell me a litre. We'll mix it with DI water if you're going to do it, at around 1 to 4, 1 to 4, something like that. About 20, between 20 and 30% is the perceived wisdom of where you should be with it. There's also a product called Koch Chemie Seal, which costs £58 for 5 litres, which is basically the same as neat IPA, and I've got some in there. I think that's neat. I better check that. because I've had that quite a long time. Yeah, that is neat. And again, you can mix it down, and then your price per litre works out about twice the cost of, so if it's £1.10 per litre with IPA, it'd be like £1.70 a litre or something with Koch seal. So you can save a lot of money if you make your own homebrew panel wipes. How do we feel about that whole discussion of, John, you know, detailing brand panel wipes are too expensive, you should use your own ones? That's what some people say. And then other people say, well, your own ones are dangerous, they're going to swell up the clear coat and they're not as effective. Where do you stand in that argument, that debate? We've covered that, and I'll link a video up here. I feel like branded panel wipes are a little bit more effective than just water and IPA, I think. Water and IPA has no emulsifier in it, no surfactant, so that water and alcohol solvents can struggle to break into non-water miscible materials and oils. So a little bit of emulsifier. Some of these panel wipes will contain volatile surfactants in them to help that emulsification when they need it. So yes, these products, I think, branded panel wipes are better. Okay, but you pay a lot more for them. What is the holy grail piece of advice for anyone new to detailing watching this video? The holy grail, the real sweet stuff that you only get here, because I make it up myself. The sweet stuff is, if in doubt about what panel wipe you should use the panel wipe from the manufacturer of the abrasive that you use to to polish, don't do humour, your car. So if I just use Koch Chemie, I would just use Koch Chemie's panel wipe. If I just use the Rupes, I would use the Rupes panel wipe. If I just use Shell Concepts, I don't even know if they got one actually, I'd use the Shell Concepts. If I just use Carpro, I'd use Carpro Eraser. If I use Geon only, that you can't panel wipe because it's an all-in-one kind of thing. I'd use Geon Eraser, Geon Prep. So you get the idea. Why is that a good bit of advice? Because polishing compounds and polishes are different formulations. I've talked about this before. You can have solvent-based ones. If you have a solvent-based product, then a water-miscible panel wipe is not going to be as effective as a hydrocarbon panel wipe, which is going to be compatible with the oil and the solvent. For example, the Built Hamber cleanser fluid is hydrocarbon. So if you're trying to use it on a solvent-based polish, it's going to work really well, and a water-based one's not going to want to get into it as much, not going to be as friendly. It's going to need that emulsifiers to help it, vice versa. If you have a water-based panel wipe, then water-based polish, sorry, most of them are emulsions, but if you have a water-based polish, then a hydrocarbon is not going to want to mix with it as well. So that's why if you use the panel wipe from the brand that make the polish, they're going to know exactly how to formulate, because they're smart enough to make an abrasive, how to make a panel wipe that works for it. Some of them are. Anyway, don't go there. All these companies, they make all their products, so they know what they're doing. So they know also how to make a panel wipe that's most suitable. Yeah, there probably are some companies out there that aren't even smart enough to know. But anyway, that's all the good information, okay? Now I want to show you some things. What have I done over here, John? Over to the test panel. It's over to John in the weather section with today's weather. Okay, guys, so the next section of this video, I've got the test panel here. And what we've got is, down here I've got the wax. Here I've got a finishing polish. Here I've got an all-in-one with wax in it. And here I've got an acrylic glaze, Poor Boys Black Hole, Auto Finesse Triple, Shell Concepts, S40, Auto Glim, High Definition, wax. I'm not sure about this actually. I think that's really a cross. I'm in and ahhing and eyeballing it. But basically, and this area, so what I've done is apply the products here and here. There's no product on this top section, so it's like a control. The products, these section where all the products are hasn't been panel wiped. These sections have been panel wiped with the Rupes, and then on this section, my IPA mix, which is 50-50, so it's quite strong. So panel wiped, Rupes IPA, Rupes IPA, Rupes IPA, Rupes IPA. Just so I can see if there's a difference. Now, I think there's not much in it, But there really isn't actually. That's why I've done 2 crosses here. You can see what I'm seeing. But I thought that there were more swirls here, which meant that the IPA maybe had cleared it. But I think, looking at all of them, it might just be that there was more swirls on this bit of the panel. There's not enough difference really to tell. So I don't think either of these panel wipes, and I'll show you in a minute why, because I think these are going to be buzzing with hydrophobicity still when I pour water on them. I don't think either of these panel wipes have touched this ultra high definition wax, and I don't think they can, which is an important point we'll come back to in a minute. Now, the polishing oils, you can see how much more swirly both these sections are, which is interesting, isn't it? Now, I think, tell me if I'm wrong, because you can see exactly what I'm seeing, kind of, not quite as well, but I think the IPA section is slightly more filled than the Rupes Reveal. Can you see that? And I'm looking at the trail, that straight line that goes up and down, how dense all those swirls are when I shift over to here. Can you see it? Slightly more filled, but I don't know. There's not much in it. But basically, both of these products have removed, I think, polishing oil. There's a big difference between the swirls here and the swirls there, because that wax is still there and it's still filling them. Now, if we go over here to the Auto Finesse Triple, I think, again, if we look at the amount of swirls there where the Rupes has panel wiped it versus the IPA, again, to me, look at that straight line of light that goes up and down. I have to get the camera there. So now it's vertical. You see it? Look how dense it is. And if we go over here, it's a lot less. So I think there's more wax left on the panel than here. So we've got more swirls. So the Rupes Reveal has revealed, taken away more of the products to bring back, you know, the true panel, if you like. You can see it, can't you? Just less. Yeah, that's definitely more filled under the light. And then finally, the glaze. I think both of these products, you can see, again, if you look, you know, you look here, how much that's what the panel looks like with nothing in it. And then the glazed panel, it's improved. So maybe there's probably more swirls. Oh, no, there isn't. There isn't. There might be more swirls in the Rupes side, which, again, going on those little straight lines of light. You keep an eye on them as we go from one to the other, especially below. Look below that beam, the bottom section of the camera. Yeah, there's less, isn't there? So maybe that's filled, so that's left more material behind, and the Rupes has perhaps moved a little bit more material. Now, I just want to quickly, because you're going to get the gist of this. So forgive the camera work. I'm just going to take this panel out, pop it on my thing here. Little Lola, hello, sweetie. What are you doing? You're going to help me do some testing? Hold on, I didn't mean that. Now, let's just pop this here. Okay. Put it here, in fact. Right, and we take my heels. Those who've been following the channel, I replaced this. That green one had been there for like 10 years, and it was there for 10 years before I got here. So it done all right. And I got another hose lock one because I figured it had been a good servant. Although these guns are rubbish. This was the not hose lock one. This was the Amazon recommended one. Look at it, it's falling to bits. The hose lock ones, you drop them, they crack though. Can't find a good one of these. If anyone knows, let me know. Right, I'm just going to go to shower. Right, we'll just soak this panel out. So you can see there is no way. It's interesting actually, isn't it? Oh yeah, but you can still see, like the water will settle there and just run off. Sorry, can you see that? So you just got that sort of slow. So there's a bit of hydrophobicity there from polishing. But where the product is, it's rapid, and you can't. The water just won't settle. Okay, so it hasn't removed that wax. Okay, the polish, you can see the water can settle on it, and then it's going to slowly trickle down. And eventually, that's still there. There, eventually it will break free. So it's just completely virtually no hydrophobicity because it's been stripped, whatever's on there, okay? The Rupes, so the AOI, the triple, that's been stripped. It's impressive, actually. That's been stripped. Oh, hold on. Yeah. Yeah, it's virtually been stripped, guys. It's behaving the same as the Control, which it's got no product on. Oh, sorry, it's here, isn't it? Yeah. And the glaze, that's interesting actually, isn't it? It looked like Rupes had stripped it, but the water behaviour, oh no, it's the same, it's the same. It's the same. Interesting, it's going up. Why is it going up? Oh no, okay, it's the same, yeah, it's the same. So, in summary, it couldn't strip the wax. It's cleaned off the polish. It's cleaned off most of the AOI, and it's hammered this, although this isn't hydrophobic, this material, so it's a bit hard to tell. And then we've got all those different results in terms of visibility in the swirls. We can see some slight improvements that I've tried to show you on the camera between Reveal and IPA, and hopefully you can see there's a slight difference. Those results are very similar to what I did years ago, where I concluded that these products are slightly better than IPA at degreasing, and I think they just are, but you pay a price for it. So there's this video has given you everything you need to know in a nutshell about panel wipes, what sort of panel wipes you should be buying, excuse me, and the whole subject of panel wipes. One other thing I forgot to mention is all the instructions. This comes with a Vela trigger, which is very good. If you're going to store it, you know, or move it around, do that, and then it seals that off so that when you turn it upside down, it does not leak. If you don't do that and you leave that open, it will squirt through there like a water pistol. See it? So it can be transported. These were the same triggers on that ceramic coating that didn't have that little seal in it, in that ceramic detailer, and it can leak everywhere. So make sure they don't leak, basically. But it's a very good trigger. It's got a filter in the bottom as well, which is handy. So that should serve you well. Instructions, guys: spray it onto a clean. It says spray to a clean soft microfiber towel. It should be spray into or onto, not spray to a clean. Excuse me. Then apply to the surface and wipe it with the flip side or another microfiber towel. Inspect the surface and repeat as necessary. Yeah. How are you going to know? But yes, the instructions are fundamentally good. There's some good little tips there. Don't use it in direct sunlight. You know, you want to wipe the residue off. You don't want it to dry and evaporate because of the heat on that panel. Yeah, spray it into the towel, not around, because you can get overspray on the panel, although some people will spray it onto the panel if you're careful. Let's just read the product description, and because there's a couple of things that are really important. Reveal Lite is a surface preparation and cleaning spray specifically formulated to remove compound and polish, oils, residues, waxes. We've just proven it can't remove waxes. Then it says as non-durable fillers and other surface contamination remaining on the surfaces before or after polishing. We talked about that at the start. Use Reveal Lite after washing, but before compounding and polishing to remove contamination or other non-durable surface contamination. Use it after compound and polishing to remove residual oils and show the true nature of the results before applying your choice of protection. Also works great as an exterior glass cleaner. John, you haven't talked much about this product. What's it like to use? It's lovely. It's got a citrus smell to it. I don't know if it's because it's got limonene in it or it's scented, but it really smells zesty and kind of like lemon. It's a little bit slower to flash than my pure IPA, so it can wet the surface out and stay there a little bit longer. It's smooth when you buff it, but that was on my car. It depends what you're spraying it on. If you spray it on something like a thick layer of oil, it's going to thin that oil, and that oil, once the solvent starts vaping off, that oil could start tacking up again. So if you ever spray it and it's not slick, it's not necessarily because of the product, it's because of what it's doing to whatever's on the surface. But if your panel is nice and clean and silky in the first place, The product goes on, the microfiber feels silky, it buffs, it's not streaky, it doesn't leave anything behind, and it's lovely to use. And the scent, like I say, is really lovely. If you get any on you, it's not harsh. It just feels, it's probably alcohol solvent based in one form or another, but with other materials and maybe a little touch of surfactant. Very nice product. Would you use it, John? Well, here's the thing. I would use it if I was using these products. Do you use these products? I will be. I'm virtually out of this. I'm out of my H9. I'm out of my S2 Black. I've got one of those left that's virtually full. It takes me a long time to get through all of this. But then I plan on using these. So if I'm using my Rupes polishes, I will use and keep that up here and use the Rupes Lite with it. I may well have got through it by then. When I'm using the Koch polishes, I'll use my normal panel wipe that I have in this bottle because that's made by Koch. When I'm using Scholl, that's how I'll use my Scholl panel wipe. I haven't got the Scholl panel wipe. I don't even know if they've got one. So I'd probably go with the Reveal or whichever one. So you get the idea. My only wish is that Rupes give us a 5 litre offering of this. That is very, very, very important because Rupes are a serious brand. They formulate, they manufacture tooling, they manufacture pads, polishing machines, compounds. It's all done in-house. They're a technical brand, which I love. And when you have those 5 litre offerings, say they've sold 5 litres of this for 45 quid, something like that. 40 quid would be nice. You can then get real value, you know. So that's my wish, and I like the product. There you go. Put in the comments what you think about Rupes Reveal. It definitely performs better at getting, you know, certain materials off. Very important because we've pulled other products up on this. It cannot remove waxes. When you apply wax to a panel, these panel wipes will not be able to remove those waxes, especially modern waxes with other materials in them, but that's still a wax. It says wax on the tin. They might be able to remove the remnants of these products. Well, they're definitely going to hammer them down. And they might be able to remove old school wax, you know, organic wax and oil blends. Products like this Pinnacle Sovereign, which are less, you know, just wax and oil. But it won't, you know, it's not going to strip a product like this or this, for example. It just won't. You have to really polish those off of the surface and then use the panel wipe to degrease the polishing oils. How do you feel about all that degreasing stuff and inspection wipe and stuff? That's another thing. It's another thing. So if you're doing a ceramic coating, definitely need to be really concerned, or in theory, the wisdom says that you should be concerned about panel wiping, although some of the tests we've done cast a bit of a shadow over that statement. With waxes, if you're putting a wax on a car, it's not that important to do a panel wipe down to improve the performance from what I've seen, and I've been, you know, to be fair, I've been testing all this sort of stuff more than anyone on the face of the planet over the last 10 years, and I don't see that much of a difference. With bonding sealants, again, the perceived wisdom is it does make that much of a big difference, but again, I'm not so sure. So then, is it more critical about having a true view of the quality of the paintwork before you finish? Yes, for high-end detailing and test sets and all that sort of stuff. But I must confess, with 99% of the times I'm polishing a car, I'm not after each set typically, you know, going in and staring at it for ages and saying, oh, I've missed a little bit there. I can tend to see when I get the light on it if I've missed a little patch around the edge or something without the panel wipes. I don't know. You need them, but that's how I feel about it. Once I start polishing, I go into a little thorough mode and like set piece mode, unless I've got like an hour and I'm just turbo polishing, and I just try and deliver my set piece. But I'm not really like inspecting so carefully where I'm like, ooh, there's one I should have got. Some people are. So if you're doing that kind of high-end multiple day detail where you're really looking at the paint, then I think you're going to be more interested in products like this, which do have superior performance to IPA. There we go, guys. All in one take, was it? Virtually. Not bad going, is it? Put in the comments what you feel about all of this subject, and I'll see you soon on the Forensics Detailing channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Doug.